Welcome back, my friends, to the last battle that I'm ever going to post on this channel with my Katsuki freaking capture board, anyway. But yeah, so if you guys haven't heard, my capture board is done, and this is the last battle I was able to record at the device prior to it being done. I have a guy who's helping me out trying to capture in another way. That's Saltfire, so thanks for that. Really cool guy, and he's going to help me install custom firmware, so fingers crossed that will allow me to continue my battles. But yeah, like I said, I'm trying to do it as ASAP. But if you don't see a battle for a while, that is why. I'm doing everything I can to obviously be able to stream content again. But in the meantime, I'm hoping that it'll be soon. Hopefully later this week, I'll be able to post another battle. But in the meantime, this might be the last battle. Who knows how long it'll be until I can do another one. So hopefully we'll go ahead and end with a very good one. This against Topcat720, a guy who always seems to have my number. He comes to my stream occasionally asking for battles, and he's always an incredibly powerful opponent. In fact, I don't think I've actually ever beaten him, and that's just speaks to how good he is. But anyway, this is going to be an RU match, rarely used. I believe one of my first battles in RU as of Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon. Maybe my last, but fingers crossed that we'll be able to get a solution, or I'll be able to get a solution to my current predicament. But anyway, he's going to go ahead and lead with his Pillow Swine, set up those Stealth Rocks, as I just go for a Curse, so that's not bad at all for me. And yeah, he's just going to withdraw now, not wanting to stay in and let me set up. So in comes his Melodic. I decide just to go for the Body Slam, kind of expecting a switch, not entirely sure what he has to switch into, and I end up getting the Paralysis, so a little bit of early luck, and I end up getting the Parahax this first turn, as I decide to actually try to continue my setup, because that Body Slam really didn't do that much, and I'm kind of thinking this Melodic may be easy setup on it. He's probably going to try to Scald me for the burn, at least that's what I thought at the time, so I'm like, okay, if he does get the burn, then I can probably just heal with Rest, and stall this thing out, because I do have maximum special defense. Now, he gets another Parahax, which is super lucky for me, but then he gets off a Recover, which is pretty much going to be able to negate all the damage I was able to get on it. Really, I'm not even doing half, even with +2, and he is going to go ahead and Recover again, and get back to full health, so much good those two Parahaxes did me. Not really, but it does give me another Curse up, and here's going to reveal what he does indeed have for this. Actually, no, he doesn't, because he gets Parahax again, so I'm like, well, swell. I just went for another Curse, so now I should be able to 2-hit KO. So I'm just going to try to go for a Body Slam here, but now he is going to go ahead and reveal his Haze, which for some reason I really wasn't expecting on Melodic. I know that it can carry Haze. It's a somewhat popular move, but not one that I see terribly often, so unfortunately he's able to get rid of my attack boost before I'm able to actually deal additional damage, something I probably should have realized he could do. And actually, after seeing the Haze, I know this Melodic's a huge threat to me. I have no real way to hit it hard with a super effective move. I was kind of hoping that I'd be able to take care of it with Snorlax, but unfortunately it's not the case. So I'm going to go to my Dragalge, a Pokemon that absolutely hits like a truck. This is a Specs Dragalge, and it can really cripple just about anything with a Draco Meteor. His Gligar is going to be able to come in and take one, though, and unfortunately, because of how slow Dragalge is, he's going to be able to actually get off that roost before I'm able to finish him off with the Draco Meteor, at least hoping to finish him off at -2. I still do decent damage, though. Oh, yeah, definitely would have been able to 2-hit KO. But that's Dragalge's real problem is its speed. Getting outsped by a Gligar, come on, man. But anyway, going to go to my Steelix now. This is not normally a great matchup, but I know he's just going to roost. I just want to set up my own Stealth Rocks. I've been limited by it, obviously, because he got the first turn Stealth Rocks. I'm going to go ahead and try to even the playing field a little bit. If he does have Defog, then at the very least I'll force him to take down his Stealth Rocks as well. He's going to get a pot shot, though, on my Mega Steelix with an Earthquake. It shouldn't do that much, even with the stab. Mega Steelix, obviously, is a defensive monster, and Gligars usually aren't offensive, so we're just going to go ahead and get up that Stealth Rocks, and yeah, I pay for it a little bit with some damage on Steelix. I'm going to switch out now, though. Not a great matchup. I decided to go into my own Melodic, and yeah, we end up both bringing Melodic. I'm really hoping it doesn't come down to a Melodic against Melodic Stall War at the end of this battle, because that would be awful. Unfortunately, he actually has a Paralysis, and this is kind of unfortunate for me on his Melodic. So I can't actually Toxic his Melodic anymore, which is a move that I carry in my Melodic, and he carries as well. So in comes his Siren, his Melodic again. I decide just to go for the Scald. It's obviously not going to do a whole lot, and I kind of want to scout this guy's set. And I didn't think that he would carry Haze and Toxic. I really should have probably predicted this. But he does carry Toxic as well, so unfortunately I cannot Toxic him. I just go for an Ice Beam, and he is going to be able to Toxic me. And, well, yeah, that's just, I don't need to say how unfortunate that is. You guys can pretty much figure that out for yourself. This Melodic is basically a huge problem for my team, and the only way I really have to hit it hard, potentially, is my Specs Dragalge, so gonna have to just hope that I can come in on it here and maybe scare it away. He's gonna go for a recover, and that's fine. He is paralyzed, so after the paralysis, I should be able to outspeed it here with Dragalge, and I do, I decided to go for the Sludge Wave, and that's going to be stabbed, obviously, and I'm hoping to do more than half, because I am Specs, and indeed I do a little bit more than half. He's going to recover to see what I would do, and now he's going to wisely switch out, knowing that, knowing that he has a really good switch in here in his, Gligar, which will resist the Sludge Wave. Once again, that forces me to switch out. We already know that he's faster than me, and I don't want it to stay in, obviously, because he's just going to go either for the Roost or even maybe for the Earthquake, which will would obviously hurt Dragalge a bit. Now he's going to go ahead and stay in and just go for the Roost as I go into my Machamp, and the reason I do this is because I actually want to knock off the Eviolite from this Gligar. He ends up going into his Melodic, so I'm able to get the knockoff on that. He does reveal that he had the Flame Orb, which I kind of suspected anyway, so I guess it really didn't matter that I paralyzed him, and that hurt me from being able to Toxic him, because obviously he had the Flame Orb anyway. It's a popular set for Melodic, just to trigger its Marble Scale, because the burn doesn't really hurt it at all. But unfortunately, unfortunately for him, I was able to paralyze it before it went off, so that's pretty cool for me. Anyway, I just go for the Dynamic Punch now. He goes right back into his Gligar, which I'm okay with. I guess now realizing that all I really wanted to do in the first place was just to knock it off. And, yeah, he's going to go ahead and hurt himself as Confusion, so what about that Confusion nerf? I don't know, and I'm able to get off that Eviolite, and I'm like, well, that's great. I'm going to try to finish this guy off. And he ends up hurting himself again, so I've actually gotten pretty lucky in this battle so far. Now, I don't really think that the Parahacks against Melodic really hurt him in the long run. I mean, it really just prevented him from hazing anytime sooner. But those two Confusion hits really did help, because I'm able to take out that Gligar, which would have been a massive pain otherwise. But anyway, in comes his Emboar, and I really don't know what he's going to try to do. I decided to go to my Melodic, hoping that he wouldn't go for, like, the Wild Charge. Instead, he just goes and pops off his Z move here, and that's going to do a lot to my Melodic, I'm not going to lie. This all-out pummeling is probably going to obliterate me. I do have my ability up. I believe I am as well, Marvel Scale. So I do have extra defense right now, but it still does a lot. It sends me down to 44 HP, and yeah, if he has Wild Charge, he can obviously 2-hit KO me, but I really need to get off a Recover, and I'm not really sure if there's any other Pokemon in his team that I can easily do that against. But yeah, he's just going to go for that Wild Charge and kill my Melodic, which isn't great, but at the same time, looking at his team, I don't really need Melodic for anything. I mean, so it does allow me to get a switch here in a Honchkrow, who obviously will scare away the Emboar. And I really would like to get this thing, obviously, a Moxie boost. I'm just going for a Brave Bird. He goes into his Melodic, which at the time I thought was pretty good. I know that he has his defense boost from Marvel Scale, but this will allow me at the very least to maybe get the 2-hit KO. And I decided to Pursuit just to be safe in case he tries to switch out to prevent my Moxie. And I'm able to take down that Melodic, which is huge, because, like as I said, that Melodic walled a lot of my team, and to get the Moxie boost. But in comes his Piloswine again, and I know obviously this thing could be carrying Ice Shard, but I really don't have much of a choice but to try to kill this thing. I really should have went for the Sucker Punch in retrospect, because that Ice Shard totally kills me, and yeah, that's not great, because then I just kind of wasted the Moxie. I can just go into my Machamp again, though. And obviously he doesn't want to stay in and take a Dynamic Punch. Instead, he decides to go out into his Ninetales for the first time. We noticed in the, I guess if you were paying attention, you noticed maybe in pregame that he's kind of carrying a Sun team. Maybe not a complete Sun team, but definitely has Sun elements. And that Ninetales is not going to take that Dynamic Punch very well at all. It takes that guy out. He does get his Sun up, though, which I know that I have in the back of my mind he has Victory Bell, which obviously is a threat with Chlorophyll. Thought he would go into it here right away and maybe try to get a Sleep Off. Instead, he goes back to his Emboar, which also is very good, obviously, because it's going to be able to boost Flare Blitz, his Fire-type moves. And I just go into Steelix because I need to sack something, and Steelix really doesn't have much he can counter on his team. Yeah, that was pretty much just a sack. And I'm hoping that he does a lot of damage, obviously, with Flare Blitz as Recoil. So it does allow me to get Dragalge back in here. I don't know how well I can take a Flare Blitz in the Sun, but I do resist both of his stab moves. So he can't hit me with a stab fighting or fire move, which is good. And I decide just to go for a Sludge Wave. He now goes into Victory Bell, perhaps underestimating Specs Dragalge, and Specs Dragalge just murders this Victory Bell. He was hoping, obviously, to get it in and maybe get off a sleep, but that Sludge Wave is going to be able to do it without even a super effective hit. And, yeah, he's going to go back into Mammoth I cannot allow Dragalge to die because I still have those crucial resistances against Embor's attacks. And now I'm playing for time because I really, 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 really need this sun to go away. Because I can't allow him to go back into Embor while the sun is up because Flare Blitz would be doing too much damage to my team. I'm hoping that I can stall him out with this Pillow Sweating at Snorlax matchup long enough. And obviously it's going to take about 3 hits for his Pierce, which is a reference to, obviously, or Price, rather, a reference to the Gym Leader in Gen 2. And if I count the turns of Sun correctly, it might be going down after this turn. I do have to sack Snorlax here, but it gets me a safe switch into Machamp, so I'm hoping this is the last turn of Sun, and he's going to try to hit me with the Ice Shard, but obviously I'm going to be able to kill him with the Dynamic Punch. If I'm right, and this is the last turn of Sun, I feel pretty good about my chances to be able to take down the Embor, because it's going to take away his Sun boosted Flare Blitz, and in comes the Embor, and I really have no choice but to hope that Dragalge can finish this off. I decided to go for the Bullet Punch in case of the off chance I can do enough damage with it that he'll die to his Flare Blitz due to recoil. But if he does keep the Sun this turn, I think I might be screwed, because he does survive, but the sunlight fades, so I don't know. I'm just going to go into Dragalge and hope for the best. I think he still has the most of a chance to kill me with Flare Blitz because it is being boosted by his ability Reckless. He ends up going for a superpower, which is super weird, and a misplay on his part. I think he could have actually had this match even regardless of the Sun if he had just went for the Flare Blitz, because he would have been boosted by his ability Reckless. His superpower does not quite kill me, and I'm able to actually get the victory here going for a Scald, so that was an excellent game. It feels good to actually get a victory over a Topcat. I really wonder if he did go for Flare Blitz, if it would have been able to kill. Would have gotten a little bit of extra power from the Reckless ability, and he did nearly kill my superpower. But either way, great match. And, yeah, rip capture board, obviously, and all that. Like I said, we're going to try to get past this, because I have not enough money to get a new one, and it would take way too long anyway. But, yeah, that's all I have to say about that subject. Today's question of the day, and I guess it's going to be, if you were a gym leader and only restricted to one type and not using legends or probably just 3 or 4 Pokemon, what type would you choose? As for me, it would just be Bug, because that's my favorite type, and that's really cool. Then again, I guess if it's based on like my real life, personality and skills, I probably would actually be a Steel gym leader, because I work, or an Electric gym leader, since I'm a computer scientist. I work with computers all day. But yeah, I guess you want to go that route. Yeah, answer that way. But yeah, leave a comment about that. I hope this won't be the last question today, but I'll obviously keep you guys posted. But yeah, later. Thanks for watching, as always. You guys rock.